This is day 66 of trying to get to 2000 ELO on chess.com. I'm currently rated 1802 and I'm versing someone rated 1875. This is kind of them copying me, which is actually a pretty good way to play because it's annoying when these bishops get traded off. So my opponent's playing like fairly well already, but I'll continue developing. It looks like I'm going to be castling kingside, but I'm just going to go and push basically all these pawns and then push c4. Probably now would be a good time. He's obviously going to not take. I could actually push here, or I could take. I'm not really sure. I'm actually going to push here, and I'm going to reroute my bishop and probably reroute this knight over here. So obviously this bishop is closed, and this diagonal will never be opened anytime soon. So I think it's best for me to just put my bishop back. I might castle on my next move, maybe not. So obviously knight's going here, which would be threatening this. Yeah, so I'll go here, knight here, and then castle. And hopefully I haven't lost the game yet. I also might put this knight here actually to try and take his knight once it's here. But I'll have to castle first. I can't let him take this. I don't think he has any crazy sacrifices yet. He decides to open up his rook file. That looks like a really good move by him. I'm not really sure what I should play. Maybe I want to move my knight, kinda. Yeah, I'm just going to play the weirdest looking move and put my knight here to take his knight. And he decides to, yeah, that's a good move. Actually, maybe it's not though. He decides to push, so he's controlling kind of more squares. It's impossible for me to push this pawn. I actually don't really think that's that good of a move though. I think I have to redevelop my pieces, so maybe putting my bishop here, but my knight needs to also be developed somewhere. I'm gonna put my bishop here, and my knight is looking not very good because it has no squares to develop to, but I'm planning on pushing this pawn and then putting my knight here, and this bishop guards this square, so if his knight ever jumps in, I'll just take it. So I would say I'm losing because my pieces aren't really coordinating that well, but that's okay. So now I'll push this pawn because I need to redevelop my knight. Maybe putting my knight here looks kind of good. That looks like a mistake to me because this knight is going here, so maybe bishop here to actually just take my knight. Maybe he'll play that. Okay, he moves his queen. So it looks like this knight moves still looks pretty good. I could also maybe move my knight here though. If I move my knight here, it's not really doing that much. I'll never be able to push this pawn because he has too many. Yeah, I'll just put my knight here. Maybe that's not the best move, but just occupying these squares looks better than having my knight here. Maybe he'll try and take my knight. I might actually allow him to double my pawn structure. But anyways, he decides to play something different. Now, my first move that comes to mind would be to put my knight here. But I don't know if he can't push this pawn because then I would just take. But even putting this knight here just doesn't really do anything because he can just... Well, if I put my knight here, I guess I could push this pawn. That looks really good. I'm going to reroute my knight to push this pawn and then probably try and move my bishop into a better spot. He can't push this pawn because I can just take. He can't go here because I can just take, and he can't go here because I can just take. He moves his king. So I have this check, which looks really good because that stops his king from going over here. But he might actually just go here. Then I would just take this pawn. Yeah, I would say I have to give him this check. Maybe he'll just go back, but then I have this knight move, which looks really good. If I He goes there. So if I take this rook here, I can't go here because his bishop would just take. I do have this check. I mean, I'm not going to take this because my queen's trapped. So, but I am thinking of giving him this check, bishop takes, and then going here, and then threatening this check. That would actually be checkmate, so he'll probably have to stop that. But if he moves his queen, then my knight's able to jump in. I'm just gonna give him this check. I think this is the best move, and then taking with my queen. And if maybe he doesn't take though, maybe he'll just okay, he takes. I'll go here, take back. I'm threatening this check, so probably moving his queen maybe here would be a reasonable move, I think. But if he moves his queen here, I take, king takes. This is a fork, so that doesn't really work. I don't know, maybe he could move his king back, check, queen blocks, but I mean that move looks wrong to me. Because I could push this pawn and then give him this check. So that's what I'm going to play. He can't take because his king is pinned. Okay, I did not see that move, but I could just take this, queen takes, king goes here. That's unfortunate because I can't just go here because then he would just take and his queen's defending this. Huh, I think I may have lost my advantage then. I don't see any other moves besides just taking, and the material's equal. I think. Yes, it is. My knight's able to jump into the position now. I could go here, which kind of looks good because I'm attacking his rook, but I'm also threatening to go here, and he can't just defend this because then I would just take his rook. But maybe I have something better. My bishop's not doing too well. The most forcing move would probably be to go here, and then probably go here and then like take his bishop. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play the most forcing move. Like how I don't really want like his bishop's not really doing that much because it's blocked in. So it doesn't really make sense for me to, fork his pieces. He moves his rook and then take his bishop. That's almost like helping him. Actually, wait a minute. I'm attacking his rook, but this comes with check. So okay, I didn't see that this came with check, so I thought he was gonna move his rook. So I completely missed that. So I could take his rook. I could still give him this check and then take his rook. I would say having his rook over here would be better because then he would have to move it back. So I don't think giving him this check would make a lot of sense. I think just taking this rook is the best move. So that's what I'm gonna do. Wait a minute. This pawn is pinned. So I'm gonna go here. And takes. Just try and open up my rook file. Since I'm up 2 points, just trade off more material. Okay, he pushes. Doesn't really look like that good of a move. I could take this. He takes back, but then this pawn gets kind of opened here. I could also just maybe move my king. He moves his rook here. Wait a minute. Moving my king looks very nice because it creates room for the rook. It also stops the pawn. You don't really want your opponent just to be able to push their pawn all the way down the board. And then I'll take this, and then I have this check, and I would say I'm almost winning the game. Yeah, I'll throw in this check, and looks like king here, and then I can take this pawn. Okay, he just gives up his bishop. That's interesting. I think I'll just take that. His knight is now in the position. His knight's threatening to go here, which is a fork, which actually is kind of hard for me to defend. Although I could just go here, check here, knight takes, check, king here. Maybe there's not me. I'm not really sure. I probably shouldn't give up the bishop. I also could just take this pawn, check. Yeah, I think I'm overthinking it. I think just moving my bishop, and then just moving my king, and my position should be fine. It is getting a little dangerous though because he has this pawn that's right here. I do have this check. Wait a minute. I could take this, and he can't move his king because of the rook, because of my rook stops him. So I'll actually just take that. And I'm basically just completely winning here. Unless I make a horrific blunder, I'll give him this check, defending this pawn. And then I want to say attacking putting pressure on his knight. It's defended. So yeah, I'll put pressure on his knight. Maybe he'll attack my rook, but I don't think, I'm not really worried about that. Okay, he attacks my rook. I'll just go here, threatening to take this pawn with check, but also still threatening. Okay, interesting. He goes there. So I'll give him this check. I am running out of time though, so I should probably move a little bit faster. I'll give him this check. I probably have a better series of moves, but I'm not really finding it. Yeah, I'll just take and go here. Since I am running out of time, I'm going to stop talking. Oh, I could have taken his knight. Okay, I can just go here though. And then I can just take this. My opponent is still playing. I love that. Never give up. Never resign. That is something that I need to do more of. Just never. That is very annoying. And then obviously don't stalemate the game. I played with an 87.9% accuracy. My opponent played with a 76.6% accuracy. I would say that game was a pretty high accuracy game. And I think my opponent's biggest mistake was basically just allowing just my knight into his position. And his king's just unsafe because I have this check. And another mistake he made was just, I don't know, just where his king is, because I'm going to eventually take this. And once I do take it, it opens up the rook file. So the game's kind of, and also he just gave up his bishop, so that's, but the game was over either way. So when my opponent took this pawn, I decided to push, but this is actually just mate in one. And the reason I didn't see this was because I wasn't paying attention to my rook cutting off all of his back rank, the squares behind him. Because that's not really what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking of like making a queen, but yeah, that was mate in one. And I missed it probably a few times then. Yeah. My rating is now 1812, percentile 99.7, and a high of 1882. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.